It's time for The Finish Line with Bree Marie and James Rowland. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Welcome into The Finish Line at 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bree Marie, James Rowland, and we've got special guest Sydney Guard with us today. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Okay, there's 4 letters. I just wanted to make sure I was right there. We do not have Jake on the ones and twos today. Jake is out on holiday. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Just a reminder for those of you who are joining us that you can listen to us in your car and on our 93.7 The Ticket app, and also watch on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and the Allo channel 961. This show is recorded today, but you're not going to want to miss this. This is really cool. We haven't covered anything like this before, this style of racing, so make sure you're tuning in, and we've got someone here pretty special. We want you to give her a follow as well. We do want to thank our show sponsors. We've got Sternco. Sternco is your lubricants go-to. I run their products in my race car. I trust them for whether it's engine oil or transmission fluid, rear end fluid, power steering fluid, whatever the case is. I trust them in my race car, and you should trust them in your daily driver, as well as heavy equipment machinery. So make sure you check out Sternco. And then also we have Eagle Raceway. Eagle Raceway, we just talked about it last week. They had the Lucas Oil late models there, and that was a ton of fun. Eagle Raceway is about 10 miles. What is it? East, west, north, south? East.
10 money-saving
I
minutes
love
east of Lincoln.
cardinal directions. East. You'll never forget that. 10 miles east off of O Street, away from our station. So make sure you check out Eagle Raceway as well. They're a huge partner, and we can't thank them enough for all of their support. All right. I took a big breath. We've got Sydney with us. Sydney Guard. What's your racing page? We want everyone to follow while they're listening along.
Well, you can follow me on Facebook. It's Sydney Guard, G-A-R-D with no U, on Facebook, Sydney Guard Racing, or on Instagram at midwest.motogirl.
I like it. Make sure you give her a follow. So Sydney, you and we kind of know each other outside, just through mutual racing friends, but you do something pretty cool that, I'm a 4-wheel girl, but you're a 2-wheel girl. You want to tell us what you race?
Yeah, so I'm into motorcycle road racing. If you're not familiar with it, like think of the guys that are like all dressed up in their leather suits and they're just dragging me around a corner, like hanging off the bike like monkeys. Like that's what we do.
Oh, that's
Kind
so
of
cool.
like a more localized version of your Moto GPs that somebody would watch on TV.
Yes, exactly. It's like amateur club level racing is what we consider it, but it's the exact same style as what like MotoGP or World Superbike or something like that would be.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that's so scary. That's like, to me, that's when people race speedboats, like that stuff just terrifies. Like, I think it's cool, but at the same time, like, I need all fours. I was the kid who at the skating rink, I would skate with like the quad skates, not the inlines, because I was like, something just doesn't quite jive. So I think that's really cool. Wow.
I mean, I was a quad skater too, but if somebody gave me the chance, I'm going to jump on a Ducati. Let's get you on like a Buell Blast or something and go for a track
my
day.
goodness. I will say that I think most of today's show, I'm not going to know what we're talking about. So I've got a ton of questions. First off, since you talked about the knee drag, what is that and what's the reasoning for that?
Okay, so a motorcycle is a gyroscope. And so if it's upright, it wants to stay upright.
Mm-hmm.
If it's leaned over, it wants to stay leaned over. But the knee drag, it's so you start by like moving your body off the motorcycle, and your knee is like an indicator for how close you are to the ground.
So you're like you're like offsetting the weight difference or like balance.
Yep. So you're leaning off the motorcycle to get the bike to turn.
Okay.
And then the farther you lean off, you can maintain less lean angle, so more tire grip with less lean angle, and you can still maximize your speed around a corner. But yeah, the knee drag, that actually scrubs speed.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
like sometimes you'll see people like put their knee down and they just touch it to the ground. Other times, like they'll just drag it around the whole corner. It does scrub speed when you drag your knee around the whole corner.
Does it hurt?
No, not at all. So there's like these, you can get them as wood. You can get them as like it's not nylon, but it's like a hard plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And it velcros right onto the knee of your suit.
Oh.
And so you just like velcro those knee pucks on, and they're there to protect your knee specifically for that reason.
Okay, I'm wondering if James is thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Can you get any that will cause sparks? Because I think that would look kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool, but I don't know how well it'd spark off asphalt. So I guess it depends on the track compound.
Yeah, and you probably wouldn't want to do that. I would be a little bit nervous by that. Like, every so often you'll see somebody that's like dragging a foot peg, or like they put like aluminum sliders on your boots, and so like if your toe touches the ground, it'll just slide there. And sometimes like you get some sparks there, but I don't really think you want
Man,
sparks.
I'm thinking like the Hollywood when they do the whole extra every time there's a stunt man or woman on a bike, they're always doing a wheelie. Like, have you ever noticed that? Any movie or TV show ever, if there's somebody on a bike and it's like a high-speed chase, like they pop a wheelie first and then they go.
Yeah. Yep, I've seen that.
That drives me insane.
I think you should think about popping more wheelies.
Yeah,
Only on
that's
close
not
courses.
That's not a me thing. If you're at the racetrack, like if you go to a track day or a race, usually in their like morning riders meeting, they will specifically say like, "Hey, no stunting," because they don't want people out there just being reckless and like doing wheelies and stuff. Obviously, like on like a victory lap or something, like you'll get guys that they'll pull a wheelie on the like the straightaway for the fans, but the big thing is just like not reckless.
Yeah.
I don't know if this sport is for me. Much like Lil Wayne, I've been stunting like my daddy.
Oh my goodness. So I was spitting bars last week. I guess now it's James's turn.
That's right. Well, I don't know. I've been freestyling since you was just chilling.
Okay. Never mind. We're cutting that out.
Don't cut that out.
So
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either, but I can't. I have to keep James on like a little mental leash and make sure he doesn't go too off track there.
Well, you better pull that thing in because it's about 6 miles long.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, so I'm so amazed. Where do you race at? Where do you do this at?
So my home track is at Motorsport Park Hastings.
Okay.
Just 2 hours from here in Hastings, Nebraska. But I've been traveling all over the country to different tracks. This year I am racing with the Central Road Racing Association, which is a club based out of Brainerd, Minnesota.
Okay.
So we're going to do, when I say we, like there's a whole group of like 6 guys that we all race. We all kind of like travel together and we set up our pits together and like big just group of friends. We have a good time with it. But we'll do 4 rounds with the CRA up in Brainerd, Minnesota at the racetrack there. There is going to be 1 round at Hastings. And then I'm also doing some racing with ARMA. ARMA is a vintage racing club. And so
Oh, that'd be cool.
with ARMA, you'll have everything from like 1920s hand shift bikes
I would
all the
love
way
that.
up to like modern sport bikes. And ARMA is actually going to be in Hastings, Nebraska for their Midwest round next weekend. So May 30th, May 31st, and June 1st. There will be all kinds of vintage bikes, modern sport bikes, sidecars. It should be really, really cool.
That'll be really fun.
Bree,
So
let's take a road trip.
Yeah, you guys should come out.
I'm like going through the races in my head for a circle track. I'm like I think June 1st, is that Sunday or
Yeah.
Monday?
That's
Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
And ARMA, they go all over the country. So I'll probably end up racing in Illinois at a track called Blackhawk Farms in Illinois. The big race that everybody wants to go to at the end of the season is at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, wow. So you're kind of going all over.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'll make it to Barber or not, but it is hands down like the nicest road course probably in the country.
Really?
Their facility is beautiful, like manicured lawns and sculpture gardens, and like it's just a beautiful place.
So not like my front yard. Got it.
No, not like my yard either.
So, sorry, go ahead, James.
Does your dad also drive by and criticize your yard work?
Oh, I shouldn't have let you go on that one.
Yeah, I know you shouldn't.
I have so many questions.
I
but
didn't want that
yes.
awkward pause like we had
Yeah,
last
he does.
week.
Oh,
Golly.
goodness gracious. Can't do that one again. No, he does. I'm curious. You said vintage bikes. So, like, where James and I come from, or at least where I come from, there's GOTRA, which is Good Old Time Racing Association, and you were mentioning like the vintage bikes. Do you have a vintage bike then, and what is it? And tell me all about it because I'm so fascinated.
Yeah, so I've got 2 of them.
Okay.
So when I don't know, I've been racing for 2 years now. I was doing track days before that, just on a modern sport bike. And 2 years ago when I said I want to go racing, all of my friends were racing with ARMA, and they were racing in modern classes. But I saw ARMA's class list, and I saw that they had a novice class, which meant like new riders. But the catch was this novice class, you had to race a vintage bike. And your cutoff was 1978 or older.
So you
Love
said,
it.
"Oh darn, I have to buy another bike."
Yeah,
Womp
pretty,
womp.
yeah, pretty much. And so I bought a 71 Honda CB450 from one of my friends, and my thought was like, I'm gonna spend the winter and I'm gonna build this thing into a race bike. I bought it from him in pieces, which was mistake number 1.
We love a good puzzle.
Yeah. And I never actually got that bike finished.
Oh.
Oh, is that the one that's for sale?
It is for sale, yes. It's still in pieces, but I never actually got that one finished, and I still really wanted to go racing that year, so I bought another one. So I
As
bought
one does.
Yeah. So I went to Illinois and I bought a 73 CB350, also a Honda. Come to find out, the CB350s are actually better running motors than the 450s are. So it's been great.
Yeah, it worked out how it was supposed to work out.
Yeah, I've learned that vintage bikes, they just like to leak. You have to work on it every single time that you ride it.
Where does it leak out of?
Literally
Everywhere?
anywhere. It's either leaking gas or it's leaking oil.
Fun.
So usually I end up doing fuel lines on it a couple of times a season.
Oh, wow.
New fuel filters a couple of times a season. Pretty much every seal that you can imagine it will leak oil from.
I bet their crankcases go quite a bit.
Yeah, and with a CB350, it makes most of its power like 8, 9, 10,000 RPM. So just think about all the crankcase pressure that you're building up where it just wants to seep out. Most of my issues with oil leakage have been like the seal around my shift shaft, the seal around my Kickstarter shaft, and then I've just had like a few like little bolts here and there where gaskets have failed like around where the bolt goes in, and then it just kind of seeps out. But
Do you kind of have, or I guess in the vintage class, is it all kick starts? And do you start from a standing start, or is it a pace lap type of thing?
So most of the classes you are going to start from a stop. So you're going to grid up just like they would in MotoGP. They'll present a green flag and then drop it, and then everybody will go at the same time. But there is a vintage class that they call Moto Le Mans, and it is a Le Mans style start.
I'm in.
And what
So-
does that mean?
It's really, really fun to watch. But basically, so like in the Le Mans car race, the riders or drivers run from a wall and they have to run into their
Oh,
run to their
that's so
car.
cool.
They do the same thing in this class with motorcycles. And so basically those racers will have a motorcycle handler.
Mm-hmm.
And
That holds it upright, or?
Yep. And so that motorcycle handler will hold their bike in the upright position. They will have to run from like the pit wall across the track to their bike, and then they have to push start it and then take off that way.
Like bomb the clutch, push start it?
Yeah, like
All right.
they're running next to it, and then they jump on it and dump the clutch.
I know what
I
I'm
love
watching on
everything
YouTube
about
tonight.
that. Could you imagine that with like a full size car?
Yeah, I don't know how well that'd work.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, and so for safety reasons, with vintage racing, they don't want the Kickstarter shafts on the bikes. So you are required to remove the Kickstarter. Mine, I just slip it on real quick, kickstart the bike, and then take it back off.
There you go.
But a lot of people have roll starters. So basically it's just like a set of rollers, and they'll have an electric motor on it. And so they can roll their bike up on there, put it in like first or second gear, pull the clutch in, start their rollers, drop the clutch. It'll start the bike, and then as soon as the bike starts, they'll pull the clutch back in and shut off their rollers. So it's kind of like a way of push starting it without actually having to push start it.
almost sounds like, Bree, I don't know that you've seen one of these. I've only seen them on the internet. I think Butch Bait actually had one back in the day. They had invented a standing starter for a sprint car that kind of sounds like it did a similar thing to make a sprint car start without actually pushing it.
I've seen one, but I couldn't tell you what exactly it looked like or where it was. But I
Those
know
are-
what you're talking about.
Those are just kind of the similarities that rolled into my head. So now I need to look into a roll starter. For anyone that hasn't picked up on it yet, now I kind of want a vintage bike. I wanted a vintage bike before, but just to putt around to work. But, I mean,
No, he really wants one.
why not
Yeah.
scare your mom at any chance you get, you know?
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
the vintage bikes, they are so cool to look at too. So like you take them to a bike night. Lincoln actually has a vintage motorcycle night in the Haymarket.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Do you know when that is by chance?
Yeah, it's the first Wednesday
Oh, we
of
just
the
missed it.
month.
Oh, no, it's coming
from-
up.
Yep, first Wednesday of the month, May through October, and it's vintage scooters, adventure bikes, and European.
What classifies as an adventure bike?
Oh gosh, honestly, like that gets really gray.
Anything you can go on an adventure with.
It gets really gray. Most of the time, that's going to be like your dual sports.
Gotcha.
So, like a Triumph Tiger. KTM's have a bunch of adventure bikes, but I'm not.
So like an enduro bike, kind of?
Yeah, basically like an enduro bike. They're gonna have headlights and taillights, but you could take it on gravel roads. You could take it on like small off-road type of adventures. You could ride them on the highway.
So I'm looking for an adventure bike.
Yeah.
I want a scooter.
I could totally see you being a Vespa gal. You
yeah,
could start
yeah.
a Vespa
yeah, we
gang.
can definitely see that.
I'm going to pretend I know what that is. I have so much to look up for after the break.
Well, we got about 10 minutes until that pops up. So what should we do to kill a little bit of time? I mean, I'm all in for talking about motorcycles.
Well, I think that's probably our safest bet. Sydney, sorry. You were kind of talking about how you're traveling all over, and in my head, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like the price of fuel, the price of diesel. I'm not sure if do you trailer yours or how does that work?
Yep. So I do trailer. Like I mentioned, there's like a group of us. We try to travel together. So there's two guys from Kansas, and so they'll try to carpool when we go up to Minnesota because it is like a 12-hour drive for them. But it kind of just, and there's two other guys from Des Moines, so like sometimes we'll be able to carpool together. But I have a small enclosed trailer, and so I load up my bike and my little pit scooter, and we go. Yeah. It's just like any kind of racing. It's an expensive hobby. Or I mean, sometimes there's contingency money. So there's certain manufacturers that will throw in contingency money for like club racing. Like Bridgestone Tire does one.
That's nice.
So they'll give you, I think, a certain amount of money towards a set of tires. I have a couple of sponsors that give me money off parts. Or
Shout them out.
Yeah, who are
Got
they?
your list?
So I've got Motorcycle Supply.
Okay.
They're a motorcycle shop in Manhattan, Kansas. And they're really involved with the track days at Hastings. And so he helps us out in any way he can. Sometimes that's deals on parts, just whatever he can do to help us, basically. And then I've got Vortex Racing. So they offer contingency money if you were to win in your class.
That's nice.
Yeah, but then they also give you a percentage off of parts. So we go through a lot of sprockets. And then they've got other stuff too. Their big game is like chain and sprockets. So you can get grips and all kinds of stuff with them. Suomi helmets. So I get money off helmets and helmet gear all through Suomi. And I'm really grateful for that because when I crash, I don't want to end up in the hospital with a concussion.
Yeah,
Like-
no, that's definitely a big bonus there.
Yeah, like keeping your head safe. Is
Your noggin's got to
probably-
be protected.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with no roll cage. That's another reason I like my all fours. I'm in my little, I call it a car seat whenever I'm trying to like explain to kids how it works because we've got the 5-point harness, shoulder, lap submarine, and I feel like a little baby in my
Yeah,
race car.
You're just all like contained.
And
you
you're
can't
over here
move.
like, I'm throwing a knee out. So
Do you ever fall asleep in your car seat?
sometimes.
Well, when I have,
You've seen me probably. You're like,
It
oh,
is-
she's sleeping.
No, it is so weird how comfortable a racing seat is. Like, I've sat in my car having somebody help bleed brakes and flat out falling asleep before.
It is
They
comfy.
are pretty comfortable
They
seats.
hug
They
you.
don't look like they would be, but yeah, exactly. They hug you.
So
I mean, I can't say I've ever sat in a race car, but I just can't imagine. Like,
is your seat at least somewhat comfortable, or are you just not on it that long that it matters?
yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Missing out.
Like when you're on a straightaway, that's like when you're sitting on the seat, but like you're tucked down for aerodynamics, and so I guess I don't really notice if it's soft or not. But yeah, if you're going around a corner where most of the time on a track you're either going around a corner or you're getting set up for the corner, the rule of thumb is that they should say you have like one butt cheek on the seat and the other just hanging off.
Oh my gosh. So do you have to do a lot of like training, working out for this?
So like elite racers, yes, they do a ton of training. I do work out really regularly to try and stay in shape for motorcycle season. I did a mini endurance race a couple of weeks ago that was 18 laps long, and oh my gosh.
How big's the track?
So it was a 2.5 mile track, 18 laps. So we were out there for 45 minutes. I have never ridden on a racetrack for 45 minutes in my life, and my legs were on fire.
Did you feel like your arms were gonna fall off too?
No. So your
Interesting.
legs do most of the work.
Like squeezing on.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. So your legs like hold onto the tank. Your legs are doing most of the work, like moving you from side to side on the bike. And you want your upper body to be like kind of relaxed. If your upper body is like really tense and you're holding onto the handlebars tight, that's where you're putting like other steering inputs in
Oh.
that can affect
Yeah.
the handling.
That's kind of the nervous wreck coming up.
Yeah. For years, I get nervous and I tense up and I'll feel it in my triceps and I'm like, all right, Sydney, just relax,
Chill.
just relax, it's fine.
Sound
That-
like me when there's a cop behind me on the highway.
But yeah, so a lot of like the really fast elite racers, they do a ton of training. You have to have a really, really strong core. Your core is good, like your stability point when you're on the motorcycle. And then obviously you need to have some sort of like cardio endurance, especially like if you're running MotoGP, for example, like cardio endurance is going to be everything because they're doing 16 to 18 laps in one race. And I'm like, oh, God, 18 laps killed me.
Holy
I can only
moly.
imagine.
Holy
Yeah,
moly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the longest that I've ever actually ridden a motorcycle on the road was probably from Lincoln to Beatrice, and even at the end of that, like, my hips are just killing. You never really think about it that long. For me, I didn't start driving cars till I was 30, so I rode bicycles every single day, 6 miles to work, 6 miles back. But you ride 45 minutes down the road on a motorcycle with that wide seat, and oh yeah, the hips will do a little screaming.
Oh, yeah. Like, your hips are your main, like, that's your main, like, stability point.
That's
when
where
you're
it
on the
seems
bike.
like that's where you'd pivot most.
Yeah, exactly. Like, your hips are what they call, like, your base.
Hips don't lie, as
Yeah,
Sierra said.
exactly.
I was waiting for that one to come out.
But that's how it is, like, with a lot of other sports, too. Like, think about, like, volleyball or basketball. Like, wherever your hips are pointed, like, that's where the ball's going to go. Motorcycles are kind of the same thing, where your hips are your base, and then when your hips are off the bike one way or another, that's kind of the direction the bike's going to lean. And yeah.
Interesting.
Wild. I'm over here like, man, I really like my car seat in my race car. It's quite nice. I don't have to do any of that.
I still
I mean-
think we should get motorcycles by the end of the week.
Oh boy.
Oh, yes, you
my mom's
should.
watching, so I can guarantee
hi,
that's going to
Mom.
be a big old no from her.
Well, I mean, if you want to learn how to ride a motorcycle, just let me know.
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah,
you've
just
got a
let me
bit of
know.
a pro trainer right
I
here.
don't want to learn how to run a motorcycle. This is very confusing for anybody listening and not watching. Hopefully, my mom's the one listening and not watching. No, that'd be a lot of. Yeah, that would be fun. When
I
can
think
we?
Yeah.
When
Doug
can
and
we?
Mama Bear need a trike.
A trike,
A trike.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a motorized trike.
Yeah, for Doug and Mama to ride around on.
Oh, don't give them ideas.
I mean, he's got
They're
some room
already-
in the
Actually, there's
garage.
a shop here in Lincoln
Oh, my
that
goodness.
does trike
That's right.
conversions. So,
Can you do like a what do they call the carts that are on the side of
a sidecar.
Yeah, a
sidecar?
Yeah, you can do a sidecar as well.
Can you put your dog in it?
I mean, I'm sure you could.
Oh,
I'm sure
all right.
you could.
Bree's getting a new hobby.
You
a
should.
motorcycle with a sidecar.
But if you're going to do that, you have to, forgive me for not remembering your dog's name offhand, but you need to get him some little speedy goggles.
Yes.
Her, and her name's Nellie Jo.
Nelly, I knew
Yes,
it was
you gotta
something
have
like that.
a helmet and goggles
Mhm.
and a harness for her.
Oh, we're
it's
selling the race
happening.
car. It's for sale. Anybody wondering, it's for sale. I'm going to get
Every
this.
race car I've ever seen is for sale, to
Yeah,
be
it's true.
fair.
That's true. Pretty much every motorcycle out there is for sale
Yeah.
too.
So what's the cost of running one per year? Roughly.
A lot. So it really depends. The club that I'm racing with, CRA, you pay your entry fees per race.
Okay.
And so in a normal weekend, I'll run 6 or 8 races that weekend. It's about
Holy cow.
It's like $100 per race.
Oh my goodness.
And then your practice day is on top of that, maybe $100 for practice. I just run like 93 pump gas in my bike.
Mhm.
So fuel costs for my bike are pretty minimal, but you do have the travel cost to get to the track.
Yeah. And the $800 a night.
Well, that would be for the whole weekend.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yep. So that would include like your Saturday and
Okay.
your Sunday. If it's depending on like the format of the weekend, it may be more or less. And then each club kind of has their own entry fee pricing. CRA is a little bit cheaper than like ARMA, for example. And then a lot of clubs, like you will have to buy your race license with them every single year if you want to do more than one race. So most race licenses are going to be like $100 to $150.
Yeah, it's pretty
weekend.
similar
Yeah.
for us.
Yep.
Well, speaking of paying the bills, I think we ought to step away and thank some of our wonderful marketing partners. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Finish Line on 93.7 The Ticket FM.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street, family owned and operated, always the best value.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Allo, we go beyond internet, bringing you faster speeds backed by an all-fiber network. We go beyond TV and phone service, delivering reliable, crystal clear connections. We go beyond customer service with local teammates and no robots for a hassle-free experience. We go beyond value, offering transparent prices with no contracts, hidden fees, or data caps. We even go beyond our office doors by working, hiring, volunteering, and living in the communities we serve. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at allofiber.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Back to the finish line with Bree Marie and James Rowland on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the finish line with Bree Marie, James Rowland. We've got Sydney Guard with us today. Make sure you give her a follow, Sydney Guard Racing on Facebook, and then
Midwest.motogirl on Instagram.
That one. That's the one. You can tell how well versed I am with Instagram. We do, again, want to thank our partners, Eagle Raceway, Deals Plumbing, and Stern Co. For allowing us to do this and talk about all things motorsport. I know we kind of stick in the dirt realm for a little bit in the beginning of the season, but we're excited to have somebody on two wheels on purpose instead of four wheels, and asphalt as well.
Yes,
so
asphalt.
We were talking a little bit at break about something that's super cool because I was like, goodness gracious, Sydney can talk. She's a good talker. I like listening to you talk. That's
the kind of people we need if you want to be a guest on the finish line on 93.7 The Ticket.
Yeah, exactly. I love the subtle plug. Sydney, what else are you doing outside of racing that's kind of new to you this year?
Yeah, so I started a podcast about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. It's available on Spotify or Apple Podcast. It's called the Midwest Moto Girl Podcast, just like my Instagram name. But basically, I started it because I wanted to be kind of like an outlet for new women motorcyclists. I have a friend that she just got into motorcycle riding, and she was like asking me all of these questions. And I was like, if she's asking me these things, I'm sure that there's
more.
Lots out there. Yeah, they're asking the same questions. So I do race recaps on it. I talk about motorcycle riding. And then I also kind of link in some of the mindset stuff that comes along with the mental part of motorcycling that I think a lot of women struggle with as far as like anxiety and nervousness around riding a bike. So
I love that.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
So, okay, what's the name? One more time.
The Midwest Moto Girl Podcast.
Okay.
Yep.
I like that. We'll definitely have to look that up.
Yeah.
And I think we'll definitely have to have you on again because I'm so intrigued.
I literally could talk about motorcycles or racing all day long.
Perfect.
Like,
You've got me just wanting to get out to the racetrack, and we owe it to Motorsports Park to get down there at least once this year. I mean, whether or not Bree gets on a bike, you know. Either
Or
way, we
something
gotta
else
go.
with 4 wheels.
yeah.
I mean, I'll go beat you in a go-kart.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Yeah, no, Motorsport Park Hastings is great. So they have motorcycle days out there once a month from April all the way through September. And there's an organization called Track Addicts that runs, basically it's like open practice.
Yep.
And so we'll go out there Friday night, hang out with all of our friends, ride Saturday, Sunday, and then go back to work the next day.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Sounds like that might be a group that has some campers that stays the night and maybe has an enjoyable time outside of the races too.
Yes, exactly. The community part with motorcycle racing is part of what makes it so much fun, especially like to travel as a group. And so we have a very regular group where we all help each other out. We pit together. We've got what we call our pit girl. She's one of the guys' wives, and she just kicks butt, like doing people's tire warmers, helping get bikes on and off of stands. She does all of our race grids and like puts them on little stickers for us, so when you go out for your warm-up lap, you know exactly where you need to grid up. And then after the races, we'll do like big community dinners. Sometimes we'll have campfires. Like, it's just a great time.
It's like a family. I like it.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
big community dinners is always one of my favorite parts about racing, and it doesn't matter what kind of racing you're into. You're talking about motorcycles, but every Saturday night at Eagle Raceway, you go down to the Chili Bowl, you go to a NASCAR weekend. It doesn't matter. There's always a big group of people hanging around a barbecue and a beer cooler and having a good time. And I'm sure that with motorcycles, it's just the same as with dirt track racing. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do from 9 to 5. When you're at the racetrack, you're just part of it. And
absolutely.
It's a big family, and so most of the people that I race with, I've only known for a couple of years, and they have grown to be some of my best friends. And like, I know they're the kind of people you could call up at 3:00 in the morning, and they're gonna be like, "All right, I'll be there in the morning."
Oh.
And those kind of friends are the type of friends that even like I'm sure you guys have one hell of an off season, just like our racing does, just given our geographical area. But those are the type of people who you can go 3 months without talking to, but you get that one text from that person, and you get on the phone for 20 seconds, and it's like you just haven't missed a beat.
Yes, that's exactly what it's like. And we're lucky enough that in our off season we are able to get together. So one of the guys, he has like a little miniature trail system at his house. And so like October, November, he'll have all of us out and we'll ride like mini bikes through the trails and stuff on his house.
Oh, that'd be
do,
fun.
like a big
Sweet.
campfire. And then they do like a racing banquet, Track Addicts does, in the wintertime. So we're all able to get together in Omaha in February. And it kind of breaks up the race season, or the off season, which is really nice.
So you obviously know a lot about racing and you're in it. Where did you get your start? What caused this beautiful progression in your life with an awesome hobby?
Did you start street riding, or just have motorcycles just kind of always been something that's been part of you?
So I've wanted to race motorcycles since I was like 3 years old.
Was it the movie Motocrossed on the Disney Channel?
I mean, I loved that movie, but I was not 3 years old when it came out.
Well, me neither, but I still love that movie.
No, so my dad was really, really into road racing when I was a kid, and he would take us to the AMA AMA Superbike races when they were at Heartland Park in Topeka, Kansas.
Awesome.
And I remember being like 3 or 4 years old and standing up on the hill that looked over like turns 11, 12, 13 at Heartland Park before they closed. And motorcycles would go zooming by, and me and my sister would like play Barbie dolls in the grass and just like run around. And
Did you have the Barbie motorcycles?
I did, yes.
Absolutely, I
did.
bet.
I still have it today too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I remember just being like that little kid, and like that core memory. I was like, I want to race motorcycles when I grow up, and I had no idea what that meant or what that looked like. But then my family had a Triumph motorcycle dealership when I was in like middle school and through high school and college, so which kind of kept me in the motorcycle world. It taught me a lot about how to work on motorcycles. And then I street rode for a handful of years, started doing track days. And then the racing thing was just a couple of years ago. So
I love that.
yeah, it's been a really cool progression, and how it's all kind of come together in a way I never expected to happen. Like 5 years ago, I never would have dreamed that I would be racing motorcycles right now.
Do you like the Triumph cars too? Because I'm not going to lie, one of my, like, maybe it's on the lower end, but one of those dream cars that I always wanted to have is an old TR7.
So they are really cool, but I hate to burst your bubble. Triumph cars and Triumph motorcycles are not made by the same company.
Womp, womp, womp. You'd think I know a pretty serious Triumph bike collector, so you think I would have figured that out, because I also know a Triumph car collector.
Yeah, I mean, they're both made in England.
So you mean to tell me that the school buses aren't made by the same people that make the motorcycles?
Rude. Actually, that'd be funny if they were. We might have to look that one up, just in case.
But
anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry. I kind of
you're
derailed
good.
you on that.
You're good. Yeah, I mean, they're both made in England, but yeah, they're two very separate companies. Triumph Motorcycles have never produced cars, and cool fact about Triumph Motorcycles is that they are the oldest motorcycle manufacturer that with continuous production. So they started production in 1902.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there were a few years where they didn't import to the U.S., but
Eat that, Harley.
yeah. So yeah, there was a handful of years they didn't import to the U.S., so a lot of people thought that maybe they had stopped production. But there was like some pretty big tariffs for a while, and like trade rules. So they just said, well, that's fine. We just won't sell to the United States, and they were only available in Europe and Asian markets.
So you're like an encyclopedia of motorcycle knowledge, and I'm very fascinated. Where did you gain all this? I mean, was it just like one of those things when you were younger and you'd read books on it when that was like your free choice of books, or was your dad big into it? How did you learn all of this stuff?
Most of it was just from growing up in that motorcycle dealership.
Mhm.
I mean, I would spend like the time after school and like summers and stuff at our motorcycle shop, and I guess I just like picked up on things like as I was around it. My dad used to have like a lot of facts about motorcycles. He still reads a lot about a lot of stuff about motorcycles, like on the internet and in magazines, and so I did some of that for a while, but now I guess I don't do as much as I used to, but I learn a lot by working on stuff, or like when I'm working on my bike and I'm like, gosh, why is this like this?
And your dad's like, well, in the 1972 model, those were jetted with a 68.
Are you mimicking
this?
Are you mimicking old
true.
Dougie?
No, that's so true.
I mean, just a guess.
But yeah, when I'm like, gosh, why is this like this? Usually I look it up. Or I mean, gosh. So right now I have 6 bikes. I think
Holy cow.
the largest number of bikes I've had at one point in time was like 9. And so like as I'm like maintaining and working on all these different bikes, I'm like, okay, well this bike had this for all of these years, and this bike had that for all these years, and these parts over here are interchangeable, and
Just trial and error and just really So you're the person, you not only ride your motorcycle, race it, but you're the one who works on it. Like you're the sole.
Yes, yep, it's a me thing.
I like it.
Yeah, and whatever I don't know, I'll ask a lot of questions. I look a lot of stuff up, but I do majority of my own work, aside for the paint job. So my race bike has a really crazy paint job on it right now.
I saw that. That looks really sweet.
Yeah, and I'm not a painter. One of the guys that I race with, he is a painter, and he has a business in Des Moines, so he paints motorcycles and sets up race bikes, so he did all that for me.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I got to get one.
Yes, you do. You do. You guys should come out to the track. I'll teach you guys how to ride. And
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
down.
You won't be able to ride on track, but you can ride in the pits.
I mean, Mom, I won't be doing that. I'm a 25-year-old woman, but I still listen to my mom.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm a 33-year-old man, and there's nothing wrong with calling Mom when you need a little bit of help.
She'll
Even
love
if-
this part of the radio show.
I mean, my mom will vouch for this. I have been told the recipe for tuna noodles 900,000 times.
And you still can't remember.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to call her. And I only eat it once a year, to be fair. There is one time in the winter where it's just like, that seems like it tastes like home. And it was also just a recipe example. So since I've fully grossed out Bree with the talk of tuna noodles, we might as well jump into one final break here. Keep it tuned in to 93.7 The Ticket. This is The Finish Line.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Back to the finish line with Bree Marie and James Rowland on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the finish line with Bree Marie, James Rowland, and Sydney Guard Racing. Subtle plug again. Make sure you give her a follow on Facebook and her Instagram. I forgot already.
Midwest Moto Girl.
Yeah,
See?
Midwest.MotoGirl.
I remembered from the podcast, not the gram, but I'll give you a follow.
On both. We'll follow on both. I like it. Just another thank you to Stern Co., Eagle Raceway, and Deals Plumbing for being a part of our show with us. We don't have a whole lot of time left, but I do want to leave the floor to Sydney here. Probably I got to keep this PG, the coolest gal I've ever met on two wheels.
I feel like what you were going to say involved two Bs.
Yes. But no, Mom. No, I think we've had a really good discussion today. And as someone who's on four wheels most of the time, I'm inspired by you, Sydney, to go try it. Like, there's another female, and I'm not afraid to say that, like, you know, we're around the same age, and you've almost just inspired me that it is okay. Because, like you're saying, the anxiety and everything else, and I think that the two-wheel aspect kind of scares me a little bit. And so I do now want to try it. It's one of those things that I think I'd have a lot of fun with, but it's just jumping from something so different.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'm not going to lie, I still get nervous. This is my third race season, and I sometimes am terrified before I go out there on the track.
Is it for safety, for something breaking?
So I have not crashed on the racetrack. I've only crashed on the street.
Okay.
And I get really nervous that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to crash. And actually, at one of our last races, one of the guys that I was with, he was like, why are you so nervous? And he was like, have you ever crashed?
That's why, because you haven't.
Yes, exactly. And once I told him, no, I've never crashed on the track, he was like, oh, gosh, it's great. Like, it's so easy. It's so much better than on the street. You're just going to slide a little bit, and then you're going to stop, and you're going to look up and go, oh, where's my bike?
Tuck and roll.
Yeah. And
yeah, I think I'd way rather fall on a track than on the street. You've got all those cagers around you on the street, and, you know, you've got potholes, and you've got asphalt to concrete and all kinds of different stuff. And on the track, yeah, I mean, just going off of what I've watched, I've obviously never done this, but it's like you already dressed for the slide, not the ride. So you're pretty much just down and sliding. And then, yeah, the biggest part would be, where's my bike?
I like that.
Yeah, so I actually have a question for you, James.
Uh-oh.
So I just heard you use the term cager. So why don't you explain to everybody what that term means? Because I was actually going to talk about that on one of my upcoming podcasts, because a lot of people don't know some of these, I'm going to say, motorcycle terms.
I mean, my uncle has ridden motorcycles my whole life. I'd been talking to him about wanting like an enduro bike or just a vintage street bike as something just to literally putt around on. I don't need to go real fast, and you know, it's always been, you got to watch out for them cagers. I'm also sometimes a bit of a troll online, so I learned the term cager from the group Hog Crankers Against Grass Clibbins, because apparently them clibbins, sometimes you had to lay her down. So
yes.
I always worry about the cagers a little bit, and I always try to be a conscientious cager when I'm out on the road.
So you never actually told us, like, what's a cager?
A cager is somebody in an automobile, 4 wheels versus 2.
Because they've got the roll cage.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
That makes sense.
That just that makes me laugh to hear you call them cagers, because most non-motorcycle riders don't really.
Yeah, I had no idea what you're talking about, but I wanted to look like I did, so I nodded my head back here.
I also went to high school with a kid who was big into doing track days with his dad, and they would both do track days with their bikes, and I would have asked you if you knew them, but I, for the life of me, have forgotten because I'm old. So
That's okay. Yeah, I probably, if they were here local, I probably would have run across them at some point in time. I've been doing track days way longer than I would care to admit. Probably, gosh, it's been about 8 years of track days and practices, and I'm not as fast as some of the other people, which is why I'm like, gosh, how have I been going here for 8 years and I'm still not as fast as that guy? But that's all right.
What are your plans with this? Or maybe not plans, but what's your goals?
My goals are to become a better rider and get faster every time I'm out there on the track. And literally every time that I'm on the track or that I'm racing, it's like I'm living a dream. The whole rest of the world is quiet. Like there is nothing else going on in my head except exactly what is happening right there. And like I said, it's like living a dream. And so right now my goal is just to keep having fun with it, to keep doing what I love. And in the future, I would love to be part of like Royal Enfield's Build Train Race program, which is a women's motorcycle racing program as part of Moto America. Or they have like WCR, which is a women's class similar to like World Superbike. So that would be really cool, but I'm not at that level yet. So those are kind of dreams to aspire to. But if nothing else, if I just continue to do club racing and have fun, then I'm happy with that.
I like that. I think that's important. And we talked about that last week with Cam Reimers as well, that, you know, he had taken time off. I think it was the other week, so that way he could just enjoy time with his family. And we were saying how, like, at the end of the day, you know, you got a race car, you got a race bike, and you need to just make sure that when you go out there, you're having fun.
Yeah. That's the most important part. And when it's not fun anymore, that's when you got to change something up or figure out why it's not fun.
A little reevaluation.
Yep, exactly.
I think that's excellent. And at the end of the day, something that we can all take from this, whether you're on a dirt track, whether you're on pavement, or whether you're behind a microphone, it's all about living the dream, baby. This has been The Finish Line on 93.7 The Ticket. Tune in next Sunday.